community support worker team works across North Dorset to provide essentially personal care and support with people in their own homes. That could be because perhaps they're coming to the end of their life and they're needing more support with their personal care to stay comfortable and to meet their wishes at the end of their life. Or perhaps it might be because somebody who is usually quite independent has had an injury or an acute illness. They may have been in hospital, or we may be trying to prevent an admission to hospital by providing that interim support for a short period of time. So there's 8 community support workers at the moment across North Dorset, so they're kind of shared out between the hubs, Blandford, Sherborne and Shaftesbury.
The support we provide can vary for each patient. Generally, we would offer personal care, helping them get dressed, support medications, emotional support is a big one as well, and food and fluid intake, and their general well-being. I love making a difference to someone's day, if it's just helping them have a wash and they feel so much better in themselves, or getting them dressed, or helping them have a nice breakfast. And sometimes it can just be just chatting to the patient, brightening up their day so they've got a bit of company. It can make a real difference, that hour in the morning.
Hello, it's Mandy. Hello. How are you? Well,
I'm visiting Christine. She was discharged from Shaftesbury Hospital following a fall, and she's actually a carer for her husband. So we are going in 3 times a day to help Christine with her personal care, meal preparation for herself and her husband, breakfast, lunch and evening meal, check that she's taking her medications, because we're not allowed to administer medications, but we can prompt people to make sure they take their medications.
I was enrolled on the rehab team's sort of overall care, which was necessary, and they provided a carer 3 times a day. This enabled me to progress and to keep well, and allowed me time to improve without having too much stress.
There's lots of benefits for the patients, but I think the main one is essentially that they can stay in their own home, which 9 times out of 10 is what people want to happen. And especially I think this is really important to think about if people are at the end of their life. Obviously care is pretty tricky to find at times, so it's really good for us to be able to have the flexibility to quite quickly become involved with somebody who is entering the last weeks or days of their life but wants to stay at home. I think that's such a big thing for them and their family.
I couldn't have coped. And also I had a husband, disabled husband, and I was his carer. And there's just the 2 of us, 85-year-olds. So it was quite a vulnerable situation, and I was very thankful that I was able to have this help.